Welcome back to Switch to Linux, and it is time for another Linux Top 5. We're actually going to be moving not in the world of Linux, but in the world of web servers today as we talk about this. Stop using GoDaddy in 2019. If you have web servers on GoDaddy, make it a goal this year to get off of that company. I've been doing websites for a decade now professionally, and I've actually been working with websites since right around the first picture made its way on the internet in the late 90s. And I have compiled a list of 5 things about why we want to stop using GoDaddy. So, of course, I do have some affiliate links. And I recommend some web hosting companies based upon my time. And this video is not just merely a promotional to do this. I would just encourage you to look into any other hosting companies. Of course, avoid EIG as well. That's Bluehost and HostGator are the biggest ones and things like that. I personally use A2 hosting. I also recommend SiteGround and InMotion hosting. So there's numerous other ones out there as well. So do some good real research. There will be affiliate links for the web hosting companies that I recommend, including A2 hosting in the description down below. Of course, they have shared hosting, which their shared hosting, if you buy it, I think it's a year or two out at a time, it ends up being $8 a month, which is a very fascinating deal. You can start at about 50% off. If you need something like more dedicated or a lot of controls, you could look at reseller, or I personally am using a VPS. And there are so many options, so many plans, and I've been with this company now for, I think, about a year and a half now, maybe, and I'm very happy with their company and their service. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into our 5 reasons why you want to stop using GoDaddy in 2009. Number 5, very confusing and convoluted control panel. Now, what this basically means is the way that you manage your servers. Most systems will have some type of administrative or client backend, and then you have access to a control panel. What I have found in using GoDaddy in a lot of different places is that you'll click on apparently the same thing and you'll get to multiple different places. Like there's 3 or 4 different places to manage domains, and you never know which one of those pages you're gonna click into. How do you actually get to your control panel? I just click stuff randomly, and I have to use GoDaddy with several of my clients several times a month. It's not uncommon for me to be logging in. In fact, I think I logged in at 2 separate GoDaddy accounts just today for different clients. And one of them, in fact, 2 of them, we're pulling 2 clients off of GoDaddy this coming week. So woohoo! Actually 3. I'm going to get a 3rd one completely away from them as well this week. So we're moving in the right direction. We really are. But their control panel is just so confusing. It's so convoluted. It is the most confusing control panel that exists. And I have used nearly every hosting control panel there is. And it's not just a matter of the control panel itself, like Plesk versus cPanel or things like that. It's how do you actually get into that? You get your Lunar pages, you got to log in and then click the button like twice to actually get into your cPanel. InMotion, you click in there and there's a series of options, including your cPanel. A2 hosting, much the same way. You have your all your client stuff, your payments, all that things, and then you get into your cPanel. Not GoDaddy. You got this giant list of crap all over the place, and as one guy noted, just this sea of advertising going back and forth. I love this article. Which he actually covers a few of my points, a few of the points that I'm not even going to get into in this video, so I thought it'd be a great thing to list them here. So I'll go ahead and put this article in the description down below. This guy says, why I don't use GoDaddy and you should neither. He's basically a developer. His first item is the user experience. I'm like, yes, this is the biggest issue. Weighing through, he uses the word, I have to swim through a sea of advertising to get what I came here to do. Have to swim through all of this stuff just to be able to get into your control panel. This is what he's talking about. Does he have a bigger copy of this? Yes, he does. So this is kind of what you get. And, you log in, you have your domain thing. Again, this launch button takes you to a completely different domain control manager than if you go to the domain control manager somewhere else. online bookkeeping, whatever, web hosting. We'll get to all this stuff a little bit later, but notice all of the ads he's pointing to and all this kind of stuff. Other things that he mentions, of course, honorable mentions, time is money. He just talks about his deployment. It is a technical nightmare. I completely agree. What does it mean for you? This is the one that the reason I don't, and we should all stop using it. Now, they haven't done this for a long time, but when they were really launching, for a good few years, every single thing about GoDaddy was simply objectifying women to sell their services. And I will not support a company that does that. A lot of you guys asked me to do videos on our Arch merge. It's not happening. Because if you go back, dive into the Internet Archives, look at the first couple editions of Arch Merge's website, you will find that they just plastered seductively dressed women all over the place. And I will not have anything to do with that stupid distro. I won't give them any credence. And then there's other issues as well that he mentions. I want you to read his article, so definitely consider that. But the ultimate take-home point, number 5, completely convoluted control panel. Number 4, bad pricing and options. GoDaddy's prices and options are crazy. They are a company that will upsell everything. And we mean everything. For a long time, you could not even get an email on your account. Now, since they switched to cPanel, you can, because that's built into cPanel, although they still try and get you onto their own personal email platform instead. And so I decided to pull out just a few of the options. And talking about the convolutedness of pricing, you can get servers cheaper than this. But if I go in and say, I want to host a company for my business, this is where they're going to point you to. Which starts at $30 a month? Oh my God! Okay, this is funny because I'm working with a company out in California, and we are getting them off of GoDaddy this month because their server costs them $1,500 for a site that is smaller than half the servers that I have on my A2 hosting site. I control like 30, 35 different sites over there. And frankly, that's kind of crazy. And so we're moving them off of GoDaddy for this. Because if you like, hey, I need a website for my business, this is where they're going to point you to. Now, you can get cheaper ones than this on GoDaddy, but they're not going to point you towards those. It's like, oh, your business, they want you to do this. And this is complete overkill for nearly all of your businesses. Now, once you get to the point where you're getting, hundreds of thousands of hits on your site per day, you need to pay these types of fees. But most of us, when we're starting out, most of our servers, no. We don't need those in the slightest. Private registration. $10 per year is actually fairly standard. This isn't actually is not actually a bad deal. And this is typical industry. But you know what? They keep on trying to get you down to this one here. And I can't tell you how many of these stupid things that I've seen where they're doing all sorts of crazy stuff, requiring a text message two-factor authentication before you can even turn the stupid crap off. I kid you not. I kid you not. We actually have a domain. We've been trying to transfer it for over a year now. We've run into issues with this crap. Then, the guy who actually set the account up had died. We don't have a cell phone. Well, we have to validate the account before we can transfer the... Dude, here's the credit card number used to pay your bill. Give us the domain now. We can't do that. By the time we got this stupid crap off, the domain within 60 days, so they wouldn't let us transfer it. Oh my God! The thing's still on GoDaddy's accounts right now because holy crap! This is the month. This is the month. We're going to get it off. We're going to get it off. Oh, don't forget your SSLs, which Google will now completely like bury you in search rankings if your site doesn't have an SSL on it. GoDaddy, one of the only companies that still charges you for an SSL and prevents you from using Let's Encrypt and other things. If you're on like the highest tier VPSs, you can probably do it. I'm pretty sure you can, but man, nearly everything, they want you to pay $75 per year for your SSLs. And by the way, we are fighting with this crap. We're trying to get an SSL put on some of the sites that that one of my clients is working on. We've been working on it for a while. He ends up having to call them because it doesn't work. I can install an SSL on a root terminal. I can install SSL on WHM. I can't install SSL on GoDaddy. I don't know what in the world's going on. But they're just trying to upsell about everything. Oh, let's also not forget this one here. Upselling you, get your business listed everywhere. Business listing directory for $20 a month, which, by the way, doesn't actually do anything. And we'll kind of get into why this is the case in a minute. Number 3 is upselling all these useless services. We saw all their bad prices. Anytime you go and you're like, hey, I just want a server to put my website up on. They're going to upsell you all this crap, hoping that you are a dumb enough individual, and I don't mean that as an insult. How about a person that doesn't know this industry well enough that you're like, oh, why would I not want the business listings? Why would I not want privacy? Why would I not want an SSL? Why would I not want? And by the time you go to leave, you've dropped $1,000 on your stupid domain for a site that you could have gotten for $3 at A2 Hosting because they have all of this stuff is included. Like this business listing thing we looked at last, I don't know, it's not exactly a scam, but it's like a cream pie. It doesn't actually do anything that you can't do yourself. In fact, basically what this does is allows them to submit information, which ends up not being nearly as good as you going onto these different sites and submitting the information yourself. Save the, what is it, 19 a month? What is this? So that'd be what, about $250 a year? Go onto the website with the free account that they give you for signing up on the site and add the information. It's going to take you all of maybe an hour or two to do it on multiple different sites. And really all you need to list on is Google and Bing. And that's it. That pushes to everything else. Literally. But they're trying to upsell all of this kind of stuff. And so you can't get out of your shopping cart. And so what this has led to is a whole lot of people buying a whole lot of services that GoDaddy has upsold them, but the people didn't understand why they needed them. And it turns out, number 2, GoDaddy does not actually set these up for you. I kid you not. If you go in and buy the privacy, you buy this, get your business listing, you buy your SSL, you buy all this stuff, just because you bought it doesn't mean it's turned on. One of the clients that I'm working with that we're getting some of their stuff off of there, what irritated me the most is this is a nonprofit company or a nonprofit organization, nonprofit that raises money to give scholarships to kids. They were paying $785 a year for various things on GoDaddy that were never set up. They were paying for these services for close to 8 years. They were never set up. They had an SSL on the account. Their site did not have an SSL installed because you would think that if you go to GoDaddy and buy all this crap, it works on your server. It doesn't. You have to go into your account and then go through a series of confusing steps that I can't figure out to enable all this crap. It doesn't work. You buy an SSL for your site, you don't know what an SSL means, and it's not installed. You have to go and manually walk through a bunch of their steps to install your SSL. You want privacy? It's never turned on. You can't turn it off, but it's never turned on. You want the business listing? They never do it. So what ends up happening is millions and millions and millions of GoDaddy customers are getting scammed because they've upsold them services, but GoDaddy has never set them up. You figure if you go in and you buy the SSL, you buy the business listing, you buy this, you buy that, you'd figure if you buy all these things, they work. They don't. They don't. You have to go in and manually set everything up. They never set up the services that they're charging you hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars for. I went through, we had one, it was, I think it was like a site lock related thing. They wanted to charge $1,000 a year, $100 a month for this service that did nothing. I have actually canceled it off of our account 3 times. It's become a running joke with me and the client saying it's just a zombie. Well, I'll double tap it again. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. Get off of GoDaddy. But I'm going to tell you the reason why to get off of GoDaddy this year. Absolutely. Are you ready? Number 1, GoDaddy actually inserts JavaScript into your website without your knowledge or consent. What? I've never heard of this until today. So first I'm going to show you some of the articles about it, and then I'm going to tell you about how I came across this information. So this is actually a post from, look at this, a year and a half ago. Holy crap. No, 2 years ago? I don't know. When is this? 2017. October 2017. This is about a year and a half ago. Like, this guy asked, how do I remove this tracking script? Like, what is this stuff? So this is actually the script. If you are on GoDaddy and go ahead and have a look. Actually, they've changed the location slightly. So this is appearing on the sites I just looked at and verified today it is on. All right. Then they dropped this JavaScript that does unknown stuff. We know it's user data tracking. That's what we know about it. Of course, this is a help panel, a help document. And so, again, I've never heard of this. Tried contacting GoDaddy support. They said they don't see the code, nor could they remove it or fix it that's breaking his pages. Okay, so, bit creepy. And are you sure it's being placed there by GoDaddy? What is your platform built on? I've searched, and apparently there is another similar post in the community, which is this one. Your best bet is to move to a VPS. There is a solution. Go to gateway.godaddy.com. You'll see a purple box to click try it out. Next, a green button, CMN admin panels. Help us, click help us, and choose opt out. So yes, it is a GoDaddy script. All right. Here is a Reddit post talking about it. Of course, there's some colorfulness in here. So how did I come across this? Well, it turns out that Pizza Loving Nerd sent me a message this morning pointing me to this video from the Linux Gamer. So have a look at this video, a little 10-minute video, and the Linux Gamer hosted his website on GoDaddy until today. And I'm not sure if it's still there right now, but he hosted his website up on GoDaddy and found out that GoDaddy was including this tracking script. So after watching this video, of course, he's switching to Linode. I've never, have I used with it? I might have used Linode before. Go check out Linode too. In addition to the affiliate links I have, check out his affiliate links as well on his video, because he has done a promotional with Linode in the past. I can't remember. I know I've worked with them. I just can't remember when or with who. But have a look at this video here from the Linux Gamer where he talks about this. So then after seeing this, I went over to the client that I have that I do a lot of different work with, and he is unfortunately on GoDaddy. And I went to the bottom of the site, and guess what? All of those pages that, by the way, were built by me, so I know exactly what's on the code. Right after the end body tag, boom, there's an extra JavaScript put in, pulling from another place. GoDaddy is actually injecting JavaScript into your websites without your consent, and this data is apparently tracking people, although we really don't know exactly what it's doing. If any of you are technical people, you can, from the Reddit link, just look this up on Reddit, you'll find the link. This is actually the JavaScript. So there's a sanity check, a series of things. It's going to have a thing for a timeout. So if it doesn't load within a certain amount of time, it's going to kill itself. So you get that. So they're basically trying to make sure you don't really know what's happening. And other than that, we really don't know what else is being collected here, but it is definitely collecting data. This is definitely being dropped in by GoDaddy, and that's kind of frightening. So yeah, GoDaddy actually injects tracking scripts into your website. Get off of GoDaddy in 2019. Make it your goal. There are way better hosting companies out there. Almost all of them, if you're on like a shared hosting control panel, A2, SiteGround, those two will transfer your site for free. And you will have the perk of free SSLs will be ready to go in your system through both Komodo and Let's Encrypt. I'm using the Komodo ones personally. I have Let's Encrypt as an option. And so there's no reason to stick with GoDaddy. This company needs to go away. They're abusing their customers. And all of these things I talked about here today, hopefully you can see that. So that being said, thanks for coming along on this top 5, and check out my affiliate links in the description down below. This video is not just to sell the affiliates. It's just research and get off of them. Just don't jump to an EIG company either. Those guys are just as bad for different reasons. But definitely do some research and switch your hosting companies. Like I said, SiteGround and A2 hosting, they will transfer your website for free under most cases. So we will catch you later. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.